I saw a comment from a few people asking, like, why would you lay down with something like that? And, saying she's unattractive. I will say that was how she looked in the video. That was, after when her house got shot up and she ended up getting pregnant again. So that was baby weight, pregnant weight. But when we were kids, she was bad. And I actually met his mom at Boys and Girls Club. For me, it was love at first sight when I saw her on the basketball court shooting some shots. I wasn't good at basketball at that time, but I was very athletic. I've always had, I've had great genetics since I was born. So when I seen her on the court, went up, talked to her. I played basketball with her for hours. We just played. We were, I think, like 13. She was 12, I was 13. And we played basketball for hours. And no, I think we both were 12. And I turned 13 before her, or she does. But we were playing for hours. And the next, Boys and Girls Club was closing. So she went upstairs a little quicker than I do, because I know people in the gym. So I stayed there a little longer. I was waiting on my cousin. My cousin's like, man, she was bad. Why don't you go talk to her? And I was like, I should. And I was like, yeah, I'm just a little nervous. So I just ran upstairs, went to go talk to her. Like, hey, what's up? Can I get your number real quick? Can we talk? This is back then we using them house phones that's connected to the wall with a phone jack. So she was like, yeah, cool. She gave me her number, and we called and we talked on the phone for hours. I mean, it was the summertime. We talked probably like 7-8 hours, to the point I fell asleep on the phone. And, my mom was tripping about it. So it wasn't until like two days later, I think, she ended up moving, maybe 3. But within that week, she left. She moved to Arizona, and me and her spent that week talking for hours until that day she had to move. She told me. And I was like, I was kind of crushed. We were kids. So she moved to Arizona, and we kept talking. And, I only saw her that one time at Boys and Girls Club, but I fell in love with her. Just being on the phone with her, talking to her, the things we talked about in the future, what we was going to do. We actually talked about having a son when we were kids. Like, I told her, because my mom told me to wait until I was at least out of high school to have a kid. Don't have a kid in school. So, that's when my son was conceived after. But we talked about it, and she always was like, she was the one that pushed, I want to have a boy, I want to have a boy, I want a son. So, we talked about a lot of different things. She was like, oh, I can sing. She was singing on the phone, or she had me call back, and I listened to like a voicemail of her singing. And, but, as we were away from each other, we made vows that we wasn't going to ever date nobody until she came back and we was going to get married. So when we stopped talking, she just stopped talking to me out the blue. I was talking to her for months, and she just stopped talking to me out the blue. And she got in a relationship with a boy named Anthony out in Arizona. She moved out there. So I didn't know it. So I'm like, lovey-dovey boy, young kid, junior high, I think it was junior high still. I'm like, thinking about her. And then when I think like maybe 6 months went by, I was like, okay, she done moved on or something. Or maybe 5 months, I was like, I'm good. I ain't gonna talk to her no more. I'm good. And then she just randomly called me back after like 6 months. And then that's when I kind of found out more about her situation. She had like a little boyfriend. We were kids. And then I found out she couldn't sing. She was like playing a voice recording of someone else. This is back in the day. So before cell phones, like cell phones were out, but you had to be rich to have it. And they didn't have all these cool features. So us pole feet or people at the bottom, we didn't have that. So anyway, so it kind of broke my heart. I was crushed. So I was like, no, bump that. If I find a girl I like, I'm going to talk to her just so you know. And she was trying to like control me a little bit. I was like, bro, you got a whole relationship. So I pulled back, then talked to her. Out the blue, she moved. She came to visit when she was 17, pulled up on me, found me, whatever. We was linked up, was hanging out, cool. Was mad I had a girlfriend. And then she was like, well, I'm about to move back down here when I'm like 18, when we're 18. So let's be together. So I was like, I don't know, kind of messed me up last time, but I'll give us a shot. So I tried it, talking to her again, getting prepared for her to come. I actually had a girlfriend at the time, but she wasn't no good for me. She was just trying to do stuff we shouldn't been doing and was pushing it. And I was just like, bro, you don't even want to get to know me, get to talk to me, like a lover boy. So I was like, no, I'm good. And so when she finally moved up, I was driving and stuff. We were like 18, so I'm driving. And I'm with my brothers. And I picked her up from the airport, and she was just loud and cussing. And she wasn't a woman that I remembered from a kid. But I'm already like invested mentally, like, tell her I love her, I used to talk to her for hours and hours, to the point my mom used to be like, who are you talking to? I got to pay this long distance, call fee. And she just complained like 7 hours, Darnell, for real, 6 hours, 8 hours. Like, what can y'all talk about? And we just talk. So it's like a mental connection. And I try to stick by my word. So when she came, I was like, man, you been lying to me. You can't sing. You was posing. Why would you do that? You know, like doing catfish type energy. You know, she got in the car. She was already yelling and cussing, talking about she got to fight somebody. I'm like, you don't even live here no more. Like, how you already about to fight somebody? Whatever. So it was just like a turn off. So I pretty much was like, I'm about to drop you off and whatnot. So I ended up dropping her off where she was at, but she was like, no, I'm gonna find me a car and I'm going wherever you and your boys is going. So she pretty much was falling behind us. And I was kind of young, wild, dumb, driving fast, and was like, you know, kind of trying to lose her. But she kept up with me. So I'm not saying I'm innocent. So yes. But my brother was like, you know, she bad. Like, y'all might not see it, but she was bad. Like, my brother was like, bro, she is well put together, just beautiful, gorgeous. Like, she bad. Like, you really not even going, you know, do, you know, nothing. And I was like, no, I'm good. Like, my standards were different. My standards were pretty high. So I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't like that bad energy. But he's like, bro, y'all been talking since that long? I will at least maybe. So my brothers gave me some bad advice, and I was stupid and I listened. But I'm happy because I got my son. So, you know, just that one time, boom. And then, you know, weeks later, she called me up and told me. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So you're pregnant. And I knew it. I felt it. Some people act like they don't know. Maybe they don't. But maybe I'm just, you know, God was just looking out for me because I have some moments with God where he makes something stand out. So it felt like I was like, man, something happened. And so when she told me, I was like, okay, I was happy about it, whatnot. Cool. But the reason why I went to the Army is when, like I said earlier, when she came to Omaha and, you know, my son being conceived, within that time, like I said, I wasn't talking to her. We wasn't in a relationship. So she kind of just popped up. You know, me and my boys was hanging out at this event in Omaha called September Fest. And I never been in trouble with the law or nothing like that. So I did have a speeding ticket. I had one or maybe two. So we had a September Fest. It was known to have violence and stuff down there at times, but I was telling my mom, like, ain't nothing gonna happen to me because I avoid violence. Like, I fight. Like, a lot of people jump me and fight me, but all that shooting and really acting stupid, I do avoid it. Just, it be in school situations, it be a little extra stuff, whatever. People think they can whoop me because they know I used to box. I used to box in this boxing gym in my city. So because I used to box, people used to want to fight me. So I went down to September Fest with my brothers, trying to have some good time. My brother, a couple homegirls, and some people outside were shooting, Crips and Bloods, shooting at each other in the parking lot across the street from this carnival. They ran inside to the carnival. Police started like trying to find the people that fits the description of people they were looking for. And when we seen that, we're like, let's hurry up and leave. Let's go to the front. But me and my other brother trying to make sure everybody we came here with, we got them. They're good. They're making it home back to their mom because, you know, we were pretty responsible to a point, at least enough to where if parents letting their kids go out with us, they'd be like, I expect you to make sure they're home. So we took that very seriously. Trying to make sure we get everybody together. We get on the outside. I run across two females that me and my brother knew that we didn't come with, but one of them was trying to fight the cop. One of them was in the back of the cop car. And then the one that was trying to fight the cop was screaming and yelling. They were talking about killing her and shooting her on the spot. And I got the scoop that, you know, the other friend fought the cop for whatever reason, put a shotgun up to her head, was like, I'm going to do this to you. So the homegirl just went ballistic. So I'm like, hey, you can't win here. They might be wrong. I don't know what happened, but let's just get you away from here and we'll call her parents and figure it out. And we got some information from cops and we walked off. And as I was pushing the crowd, the chick that was trying to fight, she was skinny. She had like her cousin or sister with her. She was big and I'm little. So I'm strong, but not that strong for that. So I'm doing my best to push her. My brother picked up the skinny chick because he used to talk to her. He just picked her up and just took off running. He was gone. So he just took off running with her. I'm pushing my little brother. He was in front of me. He was there with me. I'm pushing him and the big girl because he tried to help push her first. So I'm like, okay, he going to struggle. I'm way stronger than him. So I'm pushing him, pushing her. And then some cop on a horse came over, told us to move, hit us with the horse. The horse is the strongest animal I ever came in contact with, still to this day. Man, pure muscle. So it hit me. I was like, oh, pushed us. Turn, was like, I'm trying to move this big girl. She trying to, you know, she wild, she cussing, but I got you, officer. I'm going to move her. And we got to the curb. He just didn't like the pace big girl was moving at, but we were moving. He ended up putting the horse head over my head to where my back is in his chest. And as soon as I felt that chest hit my back hard, I couldn't do nothing. That's still the strongest feeling I've ever felt to this day. It pushed me so strong. I hit my brother. He flew into the big girl and then pushed her to go back a few feet. He kind of slid down her body but didn't fall. Me, I slid down his whole body and then hit the concrete, and I fell in the middle of the street, and the semi truck was coming, almost crushed my skull. And so of course I got up, cussed. I'm gonna be honest, say who I am, be clean. So I turned over my shoulder, was like, da 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 da. I'm effing walking here. I'm still moving though. I'm effing walking. You could have killed me. I almost died. It was scary, bro. So I can't help it. I reacted that way I did. I probably should have just shut up and kept walking, not in the motor. But I said what I said. Boom, got tased. Boom, a cop came up behind me, and I just seen a black glove. He wrapped it around my throat, and I boxed for a little bit. So I got street fight and boxing skill sets from the ring. So as soon as I seen the arm come across my neck with a black glove, I couldn't register cop. I wasn't thinking, when I seen black glove, I was thinking, I'm a kid, I'm thinking the movies I seen. So as soon as I pulled him over my head, flipped him, he just flew. His name is Chad Simmons, never forget his name. So he flew. Then he stood up. And he came at me, and I was like, my mom told me, put your hands up, don't fight cops, put your hands up. Or no, he's like, don't fight cops, listen to what they say. But she also told me, just in the streets, if anyone put their hands on you, fight back. But if you ever get, if anybody try to jump on you, don't fall to the ground, because if they kick you in the head, you could die. And I've seen someone die at Burger King when I worked there in Omaha. Seriously, it was a black girl. She died in the summer school. And I literally was in the drive-through window, asking my manager, Roger, can I go outside and help this woman, because I think something gonna happen. I feel in my spirit. He's like, no, you gonna lose your job. I said, someone need to help this girl. And everybody from summer school was around her in a circle, and she fell, hit her head on the little concrete cylinder blocks and died. And it just messed me up. So I really know, if you fall, you die. So, I just put my hands up. He hit me right in my face. So I end up ducking, or I end up going to a fetal position, but I was standing up. So I just curled my upper body, and he came over and just hitting me. 2 came over, 3 came over, got up to 7 cops punching on me. And he just kept saying, man, I run the streets. You think you can get away? And was just trying to whoop on me. And up to this point, I've never lost a fight in my life. I've been jumped multiple people. Never lost a fight. Been able to always be victorious, no matter the odds. So they punched on me. So I counted to 45. It was the weirdest experience. Things were going fast and slow. I couldn't believe I was still think this clear. So I counted to 45 seconds. And I realized, I don't think they're trying to arrest me. I'm just getting punched. So I will admit, I'm not going to the ground, and they ain't trying to even arrest me anyway. So I stood up and I felt like Bruce Lee. I've never trained to fight 7 people. The most at this time I fought was 3. Later in the Army, I fought up to 5 people when they tried to jump me, because my homeboy was white. He was talking to black girls, and 2 of them jumped on him. 3 came to me. I started whooping them. The other 2 came, started putting hands on him. Then Garrett can't help me out. But anyway, so, so I ended up tagging all 7 of them. I was like, it, man, boom. I just went in a circle, boom, 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 boom. And when people ask me, dang, I didn't know you can fight like that. My mom, I didn't know I could either. I didn't know. I knew I could have some hands, but I was only going off of 2 people fighting me. And it was never right at the same time. One come knock him out, or I'm whooping one and one hit me from behind, and I turn hit him real quick. It wasn't as bad as or hard as people think sometimes when you get jumped. But anyway, it just on the outside looking like, oh, it's 2 people, but people don't be smart how they do it anyway. I don't even jump people anyway. But anyway, so it was just crazy. There was just, I was whooping on them, and then I just was it was too many of them to where I couldn't never knock none of them out. It was always I think my body just chose speed over power. So I took away from my power. I'm used to knocking people out, 1 punch. So, or at least blacking their eye up and they can't see. But most times it's either knock them down, knock them out, or a swollen eye immediately. It goes hot, pink, red, blue, or black, blue, whatever. So it's just it gets crazy. It was greenish sometimes and blue. It's just, some people's eyes be different colors depending on the skin color. But anyway, so yeah, I just ended up focusing on Chad since I wasn't knocking him out. I just grabbed his right here at his collar and just bam, 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 bam. And I was just whooping on him. And then the two female cops that I helped earlier to break up that fight with the two females I knew, was actually one that was trying to fight. The other one was just bigger and she was yelling, and one was in handcuffs. So when I broke that up, the females did thank me for it. They thanked me for it. So, I broke it up. And anyway, they ended up, it was so crazy how this came back full circle. All I heard is, we can't take him. We can't take him down. Then I heard, move out the way. And they're like, clear. And I looked, and it was I want to say it was the dark-haired girl first. She shot me with a taser, felt the jolts, but it didn't drop me. So I turned, and I started trying to run. The blonde hair, boom, came in last second. It was just like almost a movie. Boom, hit me. I dropped immediately. And I just started shaking, and he just was kicking me, punching me, hitting me with clubs, kicking me in my face. My face was one way. The steel-toe boot hit me in the face. I screamed, turned the other way, kicked me in the back of the head. I screamed, and I was just like, thought I was going to die, man. And he was just like, you thought you can get away with this? I run this city. Like, you thought you going to whoop me? And I'm like, bruh. And so when he was kept kicking me with a steel toe, he had a steel toe boot. That stuff hurt. Like, I felt like my brain rock in my head. Like the brain itself, not the whole head. The brain shook, and I felt like I heard the water go. And it was like the weirdest thing. And one that steel toe hit me so hard, I just screamed. Like, ah! He's like, shut up, stop screaming. So I was like, I can't. He kept doing it, wanted me to stop screaming. And so then I was like, put my chin, because I kept turning this way. Like, I was on the ground, I would turn this way. Like, the face was, and I started thinking about my face, my eyes, nose. I'm like, I don't want this to get messed up, so let me turn to the back of the head. But then it just still would hurt. So it's kind of like when you get a butt whooping, trying to cover your butt with your hand. Like, like you don't know which one to go, but you're confused. So then I ended up putting my mouth on the ground, and I ended up chipping my tooth, the corner of it, because I put my mouth on the ground. He stepped on my head and it chipped my tooth, but it felt like I broke it. So if you see how one is pushed in because he stepped on my foot, or how this one comes out, he stepped on my head and it jacked in my tooth. I thought it broke. I really thought it broke, but they said I got real strong teeth. But anyway, so all this stuff happened. It just made me lose trust in, the country, the government at the time. So I was like, I'm a good person. Why is this going on? So let me figure out what I'm doing wrong, which probably was, having a kid too young, not too young, but having a kid in the setup that I did, wasn't prepared. As a teenager, there were little lies I would tell that were stupid. And I think that was like God's way of like, I see you, you don't think I see you. So some people gonna disagree with me, but that's how I feel with my relationship with God is. He was like, I gotta punish you a little bit, let some stuff happen to you for you to eventually get to me, which I ended up taking the longest route. I ended up taking the longest route to get to him. But anyway, hard-headed. So, this is after, I believe this is like after my son, or before. This is around the time when my son got conceived. So all that stuff happened. I'll just say one thing led to another. I got put in a situation where I was loved by a lot of people. Some people hit me up, say, hey, you can take out this person. The person did it to you, you got to set up, you can take them out, you can find them. And I just wasn't going for it. Like, I thought about it and was like, do I do this, or do I stay, or do I leave? Like, what do you do? You never lost. I wanted to kill myself. I was contemplating on it. My stepdad came in, was like trying to talk me out of it. And I ended up punching the ground, was trying to break my hand. Like, I've never lost a fight. And they're telling lies about me in the city. The news said that I had a gun on me. I hit the police horse. It was like the craziest stuff. And I was like in awe, like why is this even happening to me? Like, it just is mind boggling. So I didn't process it well. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was weak there. Mentally, I was just weak. So my mom and them offered me to take a trip somewhere, but I was like, what is that going to do for me? I'm going to go, Florida, and be depressed? And so I ended up just taking a long walk around my city, and was just like talking. I can't even say I was talking to God, but I was just like thinking, talking, because I wasn't like seeking God, didn't know if he was real or not. So I ended up walking up Ames, we had a store called Baker's, and then we had this little lot. It's like a Walmart there now, off of like 40 and something names. But anyway, there's a recruiting center. There used to be a recruiting center. There's the plaza, the Baker, I think it was like Baker Plaza, they used to call it. I can't remember the name. I used to live on the south side, not the north side with my people, or I used to live on the south side with my Mexican brothers. But anyway, so I was walking over there, and I seen the recruiter, and a recruiter station walked in there, because they used to always come up to the school, make you do the little push-up test. I actually joined. I saw Black Hawk Down, all these little military movies coming out. They were talking about Army 1, brotherhood. So I'm like, okay, I lost the love of, I think that feeling I had in this country, like I was connected, a part of the community. So I was like, okay, let me leave. So I try to go to Air Force, Navy, whatever. Who can send me out the fastest? All of them was like dragging their feet. Like, it'd probably be a month, 2 months. You got to do this. Army was like, bro, I'll get you out. So I said today, he said, I'll get you out in 3 days. Because I didn't want to kill that person or do something I regret. And I'm in jail. So I'm thinking about my son. So I made the decision to sign up. But of course, found out, later from my mom, and I had to go get the high school diploma. Because me and her weren't on good terms at the time. And we had a little argument or whatever. But she was like, why do you want it? In my high school diploma, I said, I'm trying to go to the Army, and I need it because I already signed up. And she was telling me, like, it don't really count until you really leave, for real. It really don't even count until you get to your real active duty station. It's not, anyway, let me not get in, I'm not even going to go into that. I ain't going to open up no cans on here over that. But, so I joined the Army. I got the diploma, was trying to join the Army, but because I was making a decision, I still went to go see my son's mom. Even though we weren't, how the whole thing with my son came to be, wasn't like really set up properly. It got messy because of our lack of understanding of life and being mature and grown ups. We were just dum-dums. So I pulled up on her, or we ran into each other or something like that, but we linked up, was rubbing on her belly, talking to her, like, hey, I'm making a decision, I'm not going to be here, baby visits, whatever, but I'm thinking about doing this because I got people that I'm connected to love me. So, hey, I got you. We can take this dude out. Now, I just don't want to do it. And I don't want to look like a punk. I don't want to stay here either because I might do it. I might get weak one night and do it. And then I think if I go to the Army, I might love this country again. Because right now, I'm hurt. Like, I'm hurt. I don't get it. I'm hurt. Like, I'm broken. Like, I don't get it. So we cried on the floor, and she was like, man, I'm with it. Because she's like, I'm listening to what you're saying, and you want your son to be proud of you. You talking about you want me to be proud of you, and you think if you come back in a uniform with a career, some skills, some knowledge, you'll be a better man. So we plan on getting married. So we set her up to live with my mom. I got her a car. I got her all this type of stuff set up before I left. And so when I left, like, when people know me, I'm locked in. Like, when I'm locked in on something, I'm locked in. I get tunnel vision. Like, even if I'm scared, I'm gonna do it. So I might have fear, but I still am fearless to the point I do have some courage. And I learned that from what people said about my characters. I'm not like cocky right now. I'm just repeating what I've heard from tons of people. So, I was willing to leave, went there, and when I got there, the Army was different than what I thought. People were crying, breaking down, trying to, take their lives just because it was tough being away from their kids. I mean, you got like moms, single moms there, single dads there, husband and wives separated. Like, some people had a hard time being there, knowing you can't talk to your family. Day one, they start playing mind games, pretend like they're your buddies, your drill sergeant. Then like, they're like, why you call me by my first name, Private? Do you know me, Private? You freaking turd. Who are you looking at, turd? You fucking... It was intense to me. I'm like, I take it. I've been yelled at. I've been cussed out. I've been whooped. This ain't nothing to me. Go run here. Oh, I can run. Like, I love to run. Lift up this log. I can do that. Like, none of the working out. It's just, I had a personal trainer. So Army was easy. It was hard being away from them. So I just got into it more. So most people in the unit was trying to sneak phone calls, write letters. Me, I didn't call home for real. They had to force me to call home. I did write a letter, but my letters were like always to my mom first, then the whole family, her, everybody. I would write letters, and I was talking to my mom because my mom was the one who really took care of business for me, like dishing out my money. She'll get an account. She'll give this to this, take her insurance, make sure she had food, because I didn't want her to worry about nothing. My mom's the one with the standards. She was like, hey, man, she going to have to learn how to clean. Girl kind of look nasty. She got clean, learn how to cook. She need to learn how to cook for that kid, learn how to cook for her man. I mean, my mom wanted me to eat good. So, I wrote a letter, and I really was just that one. I'm not going to cap. I wrote one. I ain't going to lie. I wrote one. It was messed up. I wrote one. But it was like 3-4 pages. I couldn't be like everybody else. I had to be locked in, bro. It was depressing trying to go through all that and then sit on your bunk and write a letter. But I should have been man enough to stand up and do it for her emotional support. So I didn't give her the emotional support. like that, and she felt some type of way because she was like, you're not writing letters to me, you just focus on your mom, all this other stuff. But in my head, I'm like, girl, we ain't really together. Like, we weren't really together properly. It was messy, and we're still trying to figure this out. So, I felt like we should have had it on both ends, but I should have bended a little bit more since she was pregnant. But anyway, well, actually, for the right woman, I should have did it. Or I'll always do it. But anyway, for the right woman, definitely. So, I'm talking past tense. But anyway, so that's where me and my mom got the information that, that Jerry dude came into play because previously, okay, Jerry came into play before then actually, so I'm not going to tell that part, but Jerry came into play, literally came into play when my son first kind of got conceived. There's some rumors on the street, this and that, but I kind of dismissed it, told her about it, but we both dismissed it. Of course she dismissed it, I dismissed it too. Anyway, but I'll stick on topic. So, I didn't write her letters, so she left because she felt like I wasn't giving her attention she needed. But I feel like I was making the sacrifices I needed. I was going through stuff mentally, couldn't be where I wanted to, sleep where I wanted to, had to eat this, had to be in this room, go through all this stuff, and you're going to be taken care of. And so she left like 3 months in. I mean, being there, she was gone. My mom, I think, called or wrote a letter, and they forced me to, talk to my family like it was an emergency. It was like, man, she just left. I don't know where she went. And I was like, damn, that's messed up. So, I try to still hold it down, thinking the best, like try to be optimistic as much as I can. Like, she's going to be there. Then when I get to my AIT, where you do a schooling, they're like, I talked to my mom. She's like, no, I found out she was with the cousin. That's why she left. The cousin was getting beat on. So she felt like she needs to move in with her to help protect her and talk some sense into her. I'm young and stupid. Like, this girl is not going to beat up Jerry. Jerry, like, that dude was like 6'5", 6 something, big, probably 240, all muscle. Dude was huge. Personal trainer, whatever. So I'm like, you're not going to whoop that dude. Like, even that dude, that was the first dude that went, it was him and another guy ended up fighting in the military and won against, though. They were just super heavy weights, 230, muscle. Them the only two I was like, I got to be on my point. But in street fights, things are different. So anyway, if it's like professional fight, I don't know. But street, I'm going to think, though. But anyway, so, yeah, so that's why she said she left, was because of that. And then that's where that whole thing came out of. She was living with her cousin. And then the whole thing came out with Jerry. She was putting it on Jerry, dude, because I guess they messed around before I even left. And me and her messed around. And then when they lived together, because there was rumors that they were messing around. And then when I actually left, they were living together and messing around. So that's where I guess he believed it could have been his. I'm not believing it because I told y'all I felt something that night that I'm like, he got to be mine. Like, God's talking to me. If y'all see my son, y'all know he's mine. So I guess I was right. God was speaking to me. So I was like, he's mine. I never really questioned it. She's the one that made me ever even think about it, like, maybe, like, because she's the mom, like, no, it's his. But then, well, she's not telling me, she's telling Jerry that. But anyway, so that's why I went to the military. That's why she supposed to left. That's where the whole cheating or putting it on someone else is his, or that's where the whole thing came out where she was putting the baby on another man. That's where the army came into play. Me eventually still trying to marry her, bring her down. Because when I eventually did get out the army, this is the mess I walked into. Her being with another guy, she telling my mom and me it was actually a cousin she was staying with, and she was trying to, protect the cousin. And so when I came back to pick up my son, I'm cool with her. I knock on her door because we made an arrangement. She just thought I was going to stay outside and me knocking on her door to come get my son because she taking too long. I wanted to flex, boy. I went to the army behind him and I survived, boy. I came back. I wanted to flex. Boy, this was training. This wasn't a war yet. I survived, boy. My son was birth. I came back to see his birth. I had to drive 23 hours. I saw him being born. Even though we did argue in the hospital that night, and anyway, a whole bunch of stuff happened. So we just been petty, bro. Just petty. We messy, man. So don't be looking at us, idolizing us, because I have my flaws. So, I came back, saw this birth of my son. I'm like, man, I need to get my son. He been out, like, you out for a week out. We can kind of move him around just a little bit. Not everybody, I just main family members. But I need to flex. Dad like to flex too. I ain't want to put it on. I mean, This is back in the day. I think Facebook just started popping. But I didn't even have a Facebook account. I still was using like Black Planet and MySpace. But anyway, I wanted to flex, like bump the internet. I know women like the internet stuff. I do my stuff in secret. That's why all my pictures, y'all don't even see that. Y'all won't find that anywhere but on that little video. Like I keep that on my phone, email. I don't need cool points from the community. I need y'all see me when we out. But you know, that's where she got exposed, knocking on the door, him coming up, like, you know, you disrespecting my house. Why you here? Why you here? And I'm like, damn, my mama right. This cousin is mean. This cousin disrespectful. He do be beating on her. Like, he mad because I'm coming to pick up my son from his mom. Like, you the cousin. You cool with her just because the cousin. Like, bro, we don't care about you. I know this might be her crib. I don't know if he paid it. But that's, you know, things, she got exposed. Truth came out. She told me the truth. But she made it seem like he was beating on her, playing his mind game. Anyway, I ain't gonna lie, I was weak. She told me some stuff. I should have read through it. That's not your cousin's house. That's your house together. Probably his house. And you know, he might be beating on you, but you're doing something to him mentally. She got me. You know, you're young. There's no social media during this time, really. There's no communication. None of these videos are out there. Like, people are still saying happy life, happy wife. You know, the woman's this. Like, they're like, all the older males in this time that I came across was bowing down to women. You know, they'll just say this phrase, when you get older, you know the truth. Like, tell me. What's up? When you get older, you'll find out the truth. You know, what do we go off of? Like, women get different talks. Some guys get the truth, some women don't. So, I mean, it goes on both sides, but I'm just sharing from my view. But anyway, she told me where everything happened. I still want my family. Like, I'm in the army. Like, y'all understand, I signed a contract. Like, I'm in it already for another 4 years and some change. Like, I want my wife. I want the kid. I want that. I didn't join the army for me. I did do it to keep me from killing that dude, getting revenge for what he did, and being in jail, and my son seeing me as a statistic. Like, you know, I want him to see me in uniform. So yes, I want you. I still want you. And I know that I can't even strip him from you, because it'd be wrong if I did, because he needs that woman. He needs the milk. He needs the nurturing. He needs all that. And, you know, all this other stuff hasn't been exposed yet. So I'm saying all this before everything else comes down the road. So, yeah, so that's why I did what I did. And I came, and I still flew her down there and tried to marry her. But it was just the dude she was with. You know, he pulled up to my mom's house when she was in my Jetta and was like exposing the truth to my mom. Because y'all remember them old phones we had, you can have a message at the bottom, like your own signature phrase with your number. So, you know, my mom was forwarding it to me and was telling me everything was going on. Was like, no, this dude's in my house right now. I don't know how he know where I live at. So when she lived here, she must have been bringing him over here this entire time, because he knew our garage, he knew our cars. So this dude could have like ran up on us. My mom was really pissed about that, which I understand. Like, this dude was crazy enough to whoop on you. Like, don't put my mom and my dad in that situation. So, so you know, he came over to my mom's crib and was showing him the phone. So, you know, they was like, okay, let's keep texting how you texting and let us see it. So, you know, she's saying like, oh, I'm with Darnell right now. He about to marry me. When I do, I'm gonna divorce him, come back, and we gonna get everything, get half, all this stuff. Like, so, you know, I stopped the car. Or my mom told me, you know, pull over, go into McDonald's out, so, because if this ain't your baby, it ain't your problem. But I was like, bump that. I'm gonna pull over into a Walmart, or I'm gonna pull over when I can. So I pulled over into a McDonald's, went to the bathroom, make sure I got all the information I needed, came out, was like, come on, Tommy, let's get in the car, let's leave. So I got in the car, and before I really pulled off, I looked at her in the rearview mirror, because she was in the back seat with Damari feeding them. And I was like, you know you busted, right? And I was looking through the mirror. So it's just eyes. Like, you know you busted, right? It's like, what? You know, Jerry's at my mom's house, and everything you're sending him, he's been sending to my mom. Literally. As soon as I said that, Damara was in her hand, and she just, boom, just dropped him. And she's in the middle of the car. So, you know, you got that little middle beam to separate. You got the little divider in the middle of the back seat. So she dropped him. I'm like, he could have died, broke his neck. And I said, we at least know this is your kid. So get him. I said, we at least know this is your son. So you need to make sure you take care of him. She just got up out the car, walked straight towards the interstate, and just walked without even looking left and right, and just walked. I was like, what? So I will be honest, I got out and was about to chase her, but I'm like, the baby, like my son, I mean, I don't know. And I ran, grabbed him, and picked him up. It was like, and I held him, was like, hey, cars flying, I gotta stop, come back. Crazy. I had to hold him the whole time, we're in the middle by the, you could just say the median for people. But yeah, we're right there where cars stall down at. So next you know, the little divider. So next you know, I'm talking to her, eventually convinced her to come back. I had to pump her head up, like, I'm not gonna leave you. It's okay, we can make this work. Just get in the car, saying all this stuff like we're gonna still be a family. She get in the car, we drive to Killeen. I'll be honest, we drove to Killeen, and I was getting her, I had her a nice hotel, canceled that, got her the cheapest motel. And I feel bad now because my son was there, but I didn't know for sure. So I got her a cheap motel, nasty one. It was like, you can just stay in here until I leave. And then she ended up convincing me to do to try to get me to look past it. And then when we started doing that, I was just like, I don't want this. And I just feel like this is manipulation. Like, my spirit just felt like this is manipulation. And I just got done, or stopped, then finished the stop, got in the car, bounced, went to the unit. Unit's like, where's your wife and kids? And I had to tell them that. It was embarrassing. My unit was like, well, we'll keep it between me and the higher ups. We won't tell the rest of the unit. But they did. People in the military petty. And, so that's kind of a little background story on that. So this leads me to my final video. I'm not giving y'all every single thing, but I will admit, the reason why I didn't go to court and fight for the custody because of what I went through when I was 18 with the cops at that carnival. Some of the stuff I saw just in the military. And then I saw how, if you're married in military and you got spouses, if people can make up stories and be like, hey, you did this to me, you did that, and you're a male, you're screwed. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all gonna ask your family members in the military, you're screwed. You're making sure all your money's gone. You're getting paid by the government. So if you're dealing with anybody who's getting government assistance, government step in, government take their side, you're a soldier, they will screw you first, then ask for the proof later. And even when they get it later, they'll let you still be screwed and be like, why'd you say something private? But anyway, so I seen it on that side, the whole cop stuff, how they try to twist the story, spin the media news, make it seem like I was a troublemaker. I'm at my jobs now. People, I didn't know, you seem like a good kid. I didn't know you didn't like horses. You hitting the horses and hitting cops. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's one reason I went crazy, low key. So I didn't like that and realize they will force themselves upon you and then try to make you, and when they're wrong, they still want you to not even say they're wrong. They'll want you to still take some little small charge, but it'll fall off in a week type stuff. And we want you to apologize. We at least want to say, you should have just never turned around and cussed. I was 18. This dude was a grown man. He was put in a position with authority, with a horse, a gun, choose who live and die. He should have I should have been allowed the freedom to say, F you, I'm walking. Let me know. But I'm not, then turn. I'm like this, literally like that. I knew not to look back. The way I'm this ain't do the race stuff, but I'm black. I was taught, hey. So I was like, but I still felt like I had a right. I felt like seeing this tire stop right here at my face. Semi-truck, 18-wheeler. I was like, I feel like I had the right, because that's the first time I really, in my eyes, saw death. There's other moments I kind of had it, but that one, I felt like I was toast. Toast. So yeah, so my fault, that was mosquito. Yeah, if it's mosquito on me, I'll smack myself in a heartbeat. So that's why I didn't really want to go to the courts, because I was seeing how they move wrong. But when I tried to piggyback off of, because when I got out the military, they weren't even working with me to drop my child support. I was like, y'all know I don't make that much money. I'm homeless, I got a job right now, or I'm in between jobs, and y'all trying to keep it the same. They're like, well, we are keeping it the same because we just had a review board. You should have been there. I was still coming back from Afghanistan and trying to reintegrate myself to the society. I literally, the world kept moving. I'm trying to jump back in out the blue. So they're like, okay, you could have said something. I'm like, you right. But when I first hit the street, I was trying to find my son. I wasn't thinking about this, and I wasn't even in the rears by then. So, when I was trying to make moves to get myself in better position, people at the front desk would show favoritism. I would come in like, oh, I'm doing this, my son with me, whatever. Really? Are you sure? I don't know. Does the mom know this? Like, hold on. When I talked to the caseworker, they said they're not even supposed to discuss stuff about her on my end. So yeah, we're on the same packet, like state versus da 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 da, so and so. You know, you're on the same packet, but y'all can't discuss like what we're doing with her. We just keep it like medium, like in the middle. So you can just get barely what you need to know about her for the case, but you can't get no special information. They were like, when I would come and try to figure out stuff, they would literally call her because she'll call me. So why was you at the child support office? What you trying to do? You know you can't do this. You know you can't do that. I'm like, how is she getting that? Gotta be that black lady in the front who's so angry. Like, she's so angry with me, saying like, I'm trying to get out child support. I'm trying to figure out what can I do. I'm back, trying to get my son. I'm telling a story. But she's like, why? What? I don't know about this. I'm like, I took it as this must be her auntie. She knows her. I don't know. Like, it was throwing me off. And then when you get to court and she makes up these stories, well, my son he brainwashed him. He did this. They'll listen to these crazy allegations. I'm showing like the shooting. I had a shooting case. I had certain, the printout of this and this and this. They still was like giving her too much freedom to like delay stuff, manipulate stuff, drag it out. But she was secretly trying to like find Damari, do other stuff and behind closed door. And I was like, bro, y'all playing too much games. I need y'all to hurry make a verdict so I can get a like protection order. I can get this, I can get this. But they were dragging their feet. So I'm like, I'll bump the courts. I'm going to just disappear because they're listening to this deranged woman. And I know she got a lawyer. Even her lawyer is like, you're yelling. Stop doing that. This is not going to work. Her mom got kicked out of court for cussing at me. And she made a little threat in the hallway. It was crazy. So the courts didn't look like, I didn't trust the courts. I lived in Nebraska and people kept saying it was a pro-woman state, which I was like, gotta be. You know, the courts are like that. When I was out in my city, I couldn't find a single place to get any help. So like they'll have places, buildings you can go to where women is like literally like, it'll say women support, women help or something. They can go in there, they got like, pretty much like a food pantry, but it's like food you find in Walmart, Baker's, Publix, wherever you're from. What's down here? I'm not Hy-Vee. It's kind of like Hy-Vee. What is that store? I'm sorry, I can't even think right now here in Texas. I keep saying Hy-Vee, but that's Nebraska. It's just like Hy-Vee. Crap, it's gonna irritate me. Anyway, so yeah, so it's just like a lot of extra favoritism or support or backing. I'm like, okay, so I came in there, I said, hey, I got a son, I'm a single father. Can I get some of this food? You know, I'm struggling. I don't got no income right now. Or I got a job, but I don't get paid till this or whatever. They're like, no, that's only for women. Okay, well, where's the male spot? I don't know. What you mean you don't know? Like, I'm pretty sure you're connected to a place that it's for the kids, right? Like, this building is really about the kids, right? That's what I asked. It's for the kids, right? So if it's for the kids, you should probably have like a phone book or something that will let me know where to call, you know, or to find the place that supports the males with kids. Like, I don't know if they got that here. So I leave, calling people, taking the bus, going here, walking here, carrying my son on my back, all this stuff, which made me closer with my son. Him seeing me go through this carrying my back and stuff, you know, because I know he'll be tired. And I'm like, we got to get this stuff done. It's just like being in the military. So I'm like, going to places. Okay, here's another place. This is for women only. Or it's for both. It's for both, but it's not. You gotta like wait. You gotta fill out forms. It takes forever. But the place you can get stuff like done that day, it wouldn't be for males. It'll be only for women. If you wanted something that day, it'd be for everybody. And then when it's for everybody, it'd be like homeless. It'd be like just for anybody struggling. But if something was just for kids and a parent, it was easy, accessible for men or for woman and child in my city. And only time I was able to really like get that type of privilege like a woman was when I went to like the VA and hit up their food pantry. They did it for anyone. If you had kids, wife, anybody. So I got love, and I was just going around other places like, okay, what is this place? Oh, this help prepare documentation for women. Where's the guy at? Where's one for the guys? Go hit up legal aid. Can't get legal aid. She already reached out to legal aid. So she's hitting up everybody that she can to get support and close all loopholes for me. And it was insane. So they had this number called Fathers of a Lifetime that I got from my church. I called it, and some women told me about it, so I called it. It was just a directory number. So they just directed you to someone who's supposed to help you with your issue. Called them. I said, hey, Fathers of a Lifetime, I need some help. I just need any place that can help me do anything for my son, just fathers only and a son. And it was like, oh, I don't know any place like that. It's like, what? They told me to call you because you knew, because you're supposed to do that. I said, no, all we do is direct you to places. And they kept directing me to places that kept directing me back to them. It's like, no, we can't even help you with that. Send me back to them. And it just broke my heart. So it just made me not really trust anything on earth. I'm going to be honest. So that's where my relationship with God picked up even more. Was like, if I can't find nothing on earth, I get support from women, but it's like, women who are close to me. But if they're not close to me, they give you that second eye, that crazy look. And I'm like, this is messed up. If I was a woman, y'all probably wouldn't treat me this way. And I'm not trying to bash women because I love women. I love my wife. I love my daughters. I tell them they're powerful, they're beautiful. I'm just addressing to the one that's fit for it. So that's why I didn't really want to mess with the courts, because I realized they don't have your best interests at heart. You or the kid. It's just bad. And then I realized from other people, when they make a court order for child support and custody, you have to do extra to really prove they're unfit. Now, if you get bare minimum before stuff get messy, I think it could work. But if you're already on child support and other stuff, they actually try to fight you in your situation. Like, they don't want to undo the stuff, change stuff. They'll just keep you there. That's what it came off as. Like, they didn't want to help me or my son make the best of the situation. And I realized from other people, when they force a court order, you got to go through hell to show it. I've seen it in my own eyes, my own family members, friends, everything. To where, like, they had to get to the point that the woman was on crack. Like, she was a real druggie. And then the judge like, no, you're a full-time father. I'm like, you got to go to that extreme. And then on top of that, a part of me didn't want to even do it because I wanted him to be with his mom. I was thinking she was going to grow. Like, I had my issues as a person, and God was working on me, and I started changing quick. So I'm like, she can do it too. But I didn't think it was never going to happen, or she didn't care for it to happen. So I didn't want to, because I didn't want my son to hate me or have resentment towards me, because I've seen that with kids. They develop resentment if you forcibly keep them from their parents. So I was like, I'd rather just, save his soul, give him the tools he needs, and then let him be with his mom to say, just watch him, watch her, and watch me. And if I'm wrong, call me out on it as you get older. Make different moves. So if I can tell you to do it for me, you should be able to do it to your mom. And your mom should get mad at me for telling you to do it to her, because I'm telling her to do it to me first. So that's where I was like, but I did to myself, it got ever too crazy, I was going to keep him with me forever. But it got to the point I did, but he wanted to go back. So I was like, go back. He was still young. And I was like, you go back, I'll make you live with it. Now that he live with me, he'll never go back unless he just tries to fight me again. And I'm like, I'm not going to keep you here. Like, I'm going to tell you the truth, give you everything you need. And it's going to be in your ball court. It's going to be in your hands. If you don't do it, that's on you. That's between you and your mom. But I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to make sure you can't say, you didn't tell me this, you didn't show me this, you didn't put me on game of this. Like, I did an order of things. I didn't give you everything young. I gave you what you can handle, what you can take, what you saw, what was exposed to you. Try to make the best of it. And I got more graphic, more detail as you slowly progress. But other than that, there's some things you see how I do it. So, yeah.